Hey and welcome to Fun Swedish, our YouTube channel. Many people say that it's really difficult to make friends in Sweden. The secret is that you need to meet them while doing an activity, like a sport or a game. This is when Swedish people socialize. But Swedish people like to do some weird stuff. We like weird sports and activities. And if you stick to the ones you know, then you might only meet expats. So today we're going to teach you some weird sports and activities that Swedish people do, so that you can join them and make some Swedish friends. And if you want to socialize with us, don't forget to put a like when you see this video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done it yet. So, let's look at 5 weird sports and activities Swedish people do. Let's start with the least weird ones and then move on to the most weird ones. Nummer 1. Rundpingis. I'm sure most of you have heard about table tennis or ping pong. In Swedish we call it pingis, but regular pingis is not that popular in Sweden. We like to play it a bit differently, the Swedish way. This way is called Rundpingis. It's the kind of pingis you play at a party or at an after work, when there are way too many people that want to play pingis. Rundpingis is the perfect solution to let everyone play. The rules are simple. Let's say that you're at a party with 8 people and all want to play pingis. Everyone needs to grab a paddle. You start by forming 2 equally long cues on each side of the board. 4 and 4 in this case. The first player serves and starts running to the other side of the table to take the last place in the other cue. Every time a player hits the ball, they need to run to the other side and stand at the end of the cue. Then, if you miss a shot, you lose a life or a point. Once you lose 3 points, then you're out. Playing it indoors with no shoes, on a wooden floor with your socks, can make it extra challenging because you will be sliding a lot, especially during the winters when you have extra thick socks. Moving on. Nummer 2. Innebandy. Have you ever wondered why your Swedish colleagues bring this weird stick to work once a week? This is because they're going to play something called innebandy, also called bandy. Innebandy is one of the most popular amateur sports in Sweden. It's a classic to play with your colleagues or friends after work. So that is why Anders and Johan bring their stick to work every Wednesday. But what is this innebandy thing? Innebandy is our word for floorball, a type of hockey you play inside. Not on ice, not on grass, but on regular floor. We like hockey so much that ice hockey isn't enough. Innebandy is the answer to play hockey the whole year around. Too warm for ice hockey? Innebandy. Too cold for grass hockey? Innebandy. Innebandy is a game you play, not a game you watch. Football or ice hockey you might watch on TV. Innebandy, not so much. Join an innebandy team and you will meet a lot of Swedes. Next sport. Nummer 3. Pulka. If you have kids, then the traditional place to meet and socialize with the neighbors is in the local Pulkabacken. Pulka is a tiny butt sledge, and backen is how we call a hill or a slope where you slide from. You're standing there with the other parents, freezing, while your kids åker pulka and socialize with other kids. This is a perfect icebreaker. So in that sense, having a kid is a little bit like having a dog. It helps you socialize and meet Swedes. Nummer 4. Ice skating everywhere. In other countries, you might ice skate indoors or maybe in a park. But in Sweden, we go more extreme. We ice skate on frozen lakes instead. This is a typical activity you do with your friends on the weekends. You bring your ice skates, your safety equipment, and your hot chocolate. The frozen lakes are actually a perfect place to start a conversation with a Swedish stranger. It's sort of a tradition, since it's good for safety reasons, just so other people know that you are around. And they might warn you about the zones where the ice is not thick enough. Akta, isen är svag där. How much you're able to ice skate on the lakes depends a little bit on how cold it is and where you are in Sweden, since you need to be sure that the ice is thick enough. The northern you go, the colder it gets, and the more things people bring to the ice. It starts, for example, with strollers. You might see Swedish people ice skating with their babies. You might get a shock when you see this for the first time. And if you continue going upwards in Sweden, then you might even see Swedish people taking their cars and drive them over the frozen lakes. But of course, always following the recommendations of the ice inspectors. And then we come to the final one, nummer 5, längdskidor och Vasaloppet. I'm sure you've heard about regular skiing, like skiing on a mountain. But in Sweden, we also have längdskidor. Längdskidor means long distance skiing or cross-country skiing. And it might even be more popular than normal skiing, since it also works as a form of transportation, at least back in the old days. And this brings us to Vasaloppet. Vasaloppet is a cross-country ski race held in Dalarna, in the northern part of Sweden. The race is inspired by the story of King Vasa, a very, very important king in the Swedish history, who once escaped from the Danes on längdskidor for a stretch of 90 kilometers. Nowadays, Swedes gather every year in Dalarna to ski the same 90 kilometers as the king once did. This is not only an important event, but also a very, very important goal for many Swedes. They even train in groups to prepare for this Vasaloppet. So if you want an opportunity to socialize with Swedes, join a training group for Vasaloppet. But just to warn you, this might mean that you're going to train the whole year round, even in summer like these guys. You might not look very cool while you're training for it. But if you tell a Swede that you have completed a Vasaloppet, then you will get a lot of respect points. Now in Sweden, we're entering this thing called Sportlovsveckan. What is that? Well, the literal translation to English would be sport, leave or break week. Sportlovsveckan. It's basically this school break kids have during the coldest time of the year in Sweden, so that they don't go to school but do some winter sports instead. So this time of the year is the perfect time to go out in the cold and socialize with Swedish people. If you like this video and our teaching style, then we have full-on Swedish courses as well. You can either go to our website and join one of our live courses starting soon. Arrange for us to teach at your company, or you can take one of our video courses. And if you buy one of the video courses with the link below, then we're going to give you a 10% discount. Plus, if you don't like it, then we have a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go and check them out! Så, vi ses nästa vecka. Hej då!